Good morning, 8th graders and GT Honors English Language Arts with Mrs. Templeton. Today is September 3rd, 2020. As always, you need a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper to write some things down on. So if you don't have that already, push pause, go grab it, and settle on back in for your video instructions for the day. Alrighty. Goodness, my space bar is not working. Sorry about that. All right, so here are your learning targets today. You should be able to analyze how critical incidents in the novel reveal aspects of Ha's character, and you should be able to cite evidence from the text in your writing that supports your analysis of that character. So what we're going to do is watch this video and warm up, and then you're going to get ready to complete this structured paragraph. It's on a document titled Getting to Know a Character, What Details in the Text Help Us Understand Ha. You will see that in your classwork, and it's due today by 10:48. Please, 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 no matter what state of finished you are in, submit that assignment by 10:48 so that I can take accurate attendance. All right, so here's your warm-up for today. I want to first talk about this graphic down here. So one of the things that you are going to hear me say a lot is claim, evidence, and reasoning. So a claim is an answer to the question, what do you know? Or it's an answer to the question, what do you believe is the truth? Or what do you believe is right? So a claim is an argument that you're making in your writing. A piece of evidence is a detail or a specific quote or an example of why your claim is true or reasonable or right. So an evidence answers the question, how do you know that? And then reasoning is how you connect your evidence and your claim together. In other words, you explain to me how your evidence supports your claim. And all of those together is a full explanation. So I'm going to have you apply that logic of claim, evidence, and reasoning. So your argument, the reason you know that that argument is right or reasonable, and then your explanation of how those two things connect. I'm going to have you practice that really quickly for two minutes. So let's pretend that you were in my office and you were arguing to me that Everett should allow students to use their phones throughout the day. I want you to think about what you would cite as evidence for your argument, and then how you would help me understand how that evidence works to support your argument. So your claim is Everett should allow all students to use their phones throughout the day. What would you cite as evidence? And how would you explain how that evidence connects to your argument? Ready, set, go. All right, time's up. Thanks for thinking that through with me. Perhaps if you were to make the claim that Everett should allow all students to use their phones, An argument you could make is that there are tools that will help them in all of their academic classes. For example, a calculator might be able to help students in math make quick calculations. And the way that I would connect that evidence to my argument is that our phones are a tool that all of us use all of the time, and it makes very little sense that perhaps we are allowed to use these tools in the real world, but not allowed to use them at school. All right, so preview of the coming week. Today, you're watching this YouTube video. Congratulations, you are there. And then you're going to complete the assignments, getting to know a character, what details in the text help us understand Ha. The rest of this presentation is going to get you ready to do that. And then tomorrow, you're going to do your vocabulary with forged, honed, pacified, and smeared. And you're going to make sure to submit this assignment by 10:48 today so that I can take accurate attendance. And you're going to submit it even if you're not finished. And you're going to do your very best work, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for all your hard work this week. Okay, this is the prompt that you're going to get on that assignment that's due today. So here, we're going to read it together. Follow along with me while I read it to you. Who is Ha? Based on the poem Birthday Wishes and one other poem you have read so far in the novel, describe Ha as a character, her traits, values, or beliefs. Write a paragraph in which you explain your current understanding of Ha, using specific evidence from the text of both poems to support your analysis. All of the poems you've read so far are copied below your answer box. Be sure to indicate the title of the second poem as well as any other poems you choose in your response. Make sure your paragraph answers the prompt completely, provides relevant and complete evidence, includes the following: a focus statement, at least 3 pieces of evidence, an analysis or explanation, what does this evidence mean, and a concluding sentence. All right, so some things that I would cite as important in this prompt. The first is the question you're answering or the claim that you're making is in response to this question: who is Ha? So this is the prompt or question to answer. That means your focus statement should sound or start with this: Ha is ... Another important thing for you to notice is that it asks you to cite evidence from at least 2 poems, so both Birthday Wishes and one other one of your choosing. So at least 2 poems you need to cite evidence from. All right, so down here it says make sure your paragraph answers the prompt completely, provides relevant evidence, includes the following. So again, the focus statement should be your answer to the question, who is Ha? So you should make a claim or argument that responds to that question. So Ha is this kind of person. So then you need to cite at least 3 pieces of evidence, of specific evidence from the text. That means to me that you should have 3 direct quotes from at least 2 different poems. So that could mean that you have 2 from one and 1 from another, or you could have 1 from each of 3 poems that you looked at, but it has to be 3 direct quote from at least 2 different poems. One of the poems is chosen for you, it's Birthday Wishes, and the other poem you should choose yourself in order to make a good argument about who Ha is. So then I also want you to notice that for each piece of evidence, you include an analysis or explanation. What does this evidence mean? In other words, you help me understand, how does each piece of evidence that you get from your 2 poems work to answer your question, who is Ha? How does that evidence prove your point? Without that analysis, with that explanation, your argument sounds incomplete and hollow. All right, so you also have a rubric for today, and this is the rubric for a short constructed response. I want you to read these 2 boxes to yourself and write, what are the key differences between an excellent response and an almost there response? Ready, set, go. All right, time is up. One of the things that I wanted to point out as a really important difference between an almost there response and an excellent response is the fact that an almost there response is just summarizing the text. In other words, it's just saying the text says this stuff. An excellent response has your thinking. It's about your argument. It's about the thing that you have inferred from the text, and you're supporting your own argument, your own thinking with details from the text. So this is a summary of the text. The text says this, and this is your thinking about the text. I believe Ha is this kind of person, and here are the moments in the text that support that argument. So I want to make sure that your thinking is central in this paragraph. All right, so here's what you're doing. You're completing the document, getting to know a character, what details help us understand and know Ha. So the short constructed response is exactly what we just worked through on the slide. The prompt is here on top. Here are those same bullets that we read through, and then this is a copy of the rubric in case you wanted to refer back to that. Then you would write your response here in this box, and you would, of course, submit all of those, but you would submit that by 10:48. You should do the best you can. Make sure that you're answering the question. The question of the prompt is, who is Ha? And you should support that answer with great evidence and analysis of that evidence. And I'm excited to hear your thinking. And I know that you will do really, really great work. Thanks so much for joining me for this video, and have a wonderful rest of your day and do the very best that you can. I am proud of you.